Lava. Philando. We out here. We out here, baby boy. Fuck them haters. Get this. See this? See how bright this screen is? Come on. See how bright that capture is right there? Come on. All good. Just approximately 17 hours of my life thrown into the void. But I hope we're doing great, guys. Flandy, hey, you still looking good for the 25th, dog? I need you up in the air. I almost said pilot to pilot, but then I remembered you were actually a pilot. So I toned it back, I toned it down. Okay, guys, I am feeling pumped to be here. Normally it's Monday at about 10:30. Today it's Wednesday at about 3. Buckle up. Who knew? Not even me. But we made it. And we made it back with an extremely bright capture screen. Mama, there goes that man. The amount of joy and satisfaction that I've garnered. Yo, Tojib, get in here. How doth the interwebs treat you, my prince? Bugles up. But the amount of joy from figuring out, for whatever reason, why my Windows 11 settings and interacting with an HDR monitor led to an extremely dull capture experience. And what's even weirder is the very first session of Cthulhu that I streamed with Fuzka and Co. I didn't have that issue. And then every stream after that was just gray as a London morning. But we are back, baby boy. We are back. The clouds are clearing.
You think you can do this shit?
And I'm ready to prep some DnD.
You think you can do this to me?
You know, it's appropriate that we're doing prep on Wednesday as opposed to Tuesday because as opposed to Monday, because the Tuesday game is actually playing on Thursday this week. And I like to do the prep the day before because I'm sort of a little more, well, I have like the test anxiety of like, oh shit, it's right around the corner, here it comes. But I also am a little bit more plugged in and stay closer to, you know, what was happening and what I had in my mind and heart whenever I'm in the session the very next day, right? So this for me is a win. Let me know if the levels are too loud. Still figuring it out on the new rig. Okay, let's get down to it. Last sesh, the party, level 18, late game, late campaign. Arrived in a place called Bixie Creek. It's far in the north. It's near like Mirabar and Raven Rock. Mirabar's been destroyed. All of the north is in shambles, is sort of like, you know, on its heels under the weight of this drow incursion. The drow, of course, live in the Underdark. They are coming up to the surface because the hells themselves, the plane of 9, which rests beneath and below this plane, is rising and pressing the drow upward. There's a ton of other shit in play. We've been playing forever. But the party basically is coming into Bixie Creek, and there's a lot of finger pointing and a lot of suspicion and a lot of, wait, who are you? Wait, you got to prove it. Wait, hold this horn of truth. Here comes Marley after barking outside. It's all clear. Everybody, we're good. Thank you, buddy. And after things had settled down, and after, you know, they had rooted out the cause of this tension and subterfuge, this changeling, right? There had been 2 old elves. They looked the same. That's impossible. And through the power of true sight, they found that one was actually a human. And as that was discovered, a battle kind of broke out. And once it came to conclusion, there was an old dwarf that had seemingly taken part in the conflict. In actuality, he'd sort of just like moved around and held his attack and like called out, you know, be safe, wait, what's going on? But his name was Bilbin. And wouldn't you know it, but Bilbin, well, he was actually the changeling. Not that human that had disguised self cast on him. So once the dust settled and all those heartbeats started to slow down, old Bilbin came up and he asked the party if they were all right and if they're in a position to maybe see if they couldn't do something about this. Drow and these blind jackals. And he led them to an old mine called the Dark Hearth. Now, I couldn't have been happier. I couldn't have been more thrilled that the party went to the Dark Hearth. They, every DM, holler at me if you, holler at me if you've ever dungeon mastered. Like, you know that there's such a likelihood of the party just, like, fucking off and going to do whatever it is they want to do. And I was hoping they would go to the Dark Hearth because it was very much a trap that was being laid for them. And it was accelerated and, I think in many ways, like, made to happen because the party thought that they had found this person that was the changeling, like the person in disguise, right? So they go down. Bilbin uses a ring of stone shaping and closes the entrance to this cavern. And as they're entering this kind of depth in this darkness, they walk forward, and calling out across the cave is Bilbin. If you came to kill me, get on with it. And they're, of course, like, what the heck, what the heck? They go over, they see that it's like a more gaunt Bilbin. His beard is faded and longer, and he's thinner. And it doesn't take him too long to be like, oh, Lord, we've been duped. That was the changeling. And as they're trying to figure out, okay, what do we do? Do we just blast our way out of here? Should we dimension door and then two of us see what they can do from the outside? They hear the rattling of bone on stone. And I wanted to... The party's level 18, all right, and they have a cleric. And I wanted to, as I often do, and often fail to do, like, really create a scary... Not necessarily jump scare, but like a building tension that results in a landslide of kinetic action that the party has to either deal with or run from or respond to or whatever. And in this case, I was like, you know what? And I described it by, RPing previously with Bilbin, who'd, been to the Dark Hearth. There's some sort of dark power in there. I'll be damned if there weren't near 100 skeletons kicking around. And I heard them rooting around down the steps, and those that came forward, they were driven by some sort of shadowy figure that, seemed like death itself. And he is referencing a lich. What it do? It's lich time, y'all. And I'm pumped, man, but the party has a way, and I don't know if it's just them or the fact that it's so high level, but the party has an incredible way of, I wouldn't say it's arrogant, but like, just not taking things that seriously because they are so capable and they've always made it out of every situation, always and forever, And sometimes you get boned. And that's kind of what I think the party is realizing happened. So let me walk you through this, and then we're going to dive into that lich life. Because as they heard this cacophony of rumbling and shambling skeletons and saw about 24 burst through into the cavern space that they were trapped within, the cleric stepped forward and turned undead. And even some of the larger skeletons, it goes all the way up to CR 4 at level 18. His DC is 18, they have +0. Every single one of these, 24 NPCs, I rolled 2 at a time, I rolled 12 rolls. None of them rolled above a 17. So they all just... These popping explosions of fine, snowy mist, bone, disintegrated in an instant as this holy sigil flashes forward. And so now they're like, all right, who the fuck's there? What's going on? And there's a Rakshasa that serves this lich that's sort of moving invisible in the shadows. He tries to dominate person. It doesn't work. He doesn't want to open combat. He's trying to, lure them forward. And eventually, you seek the mistress, no? The voice of a older Italian gentleman, echoes from this 25-foot descension of steps. And moving forward, thin hair, shoulder length, fine like bleached papyrus, the eyes stretched taut over deep-set sockets, and within them, where there might be eyeballs or irises, burn twin green candle flames. And this lich starts to throw the fuck down, you know? How else is he going to do it? AKA, the lich comes forward and stunts. So the party's like pressing forward, they're getting attacked. The lich cast Dominate Monster on the fighter, which before you freak out, it says any creature, okay? And the fighter fails the wisdom save. So I describe her like walking forward and taking the arm of this lich. Vieni con me, signora. Have you ever seen a god? And he begins to walk her down through this chamber into this room. So, this lich, what's his deal? Who's this mistress? I just want to get some, like, step vibe, you know what I mean? Just letting them know where the steps are, that's all it is. Okay. We talked a fair amount about this last time. And, like, first off, I didn't know earth elementals were immune to paralyzation. And I think immune to fear? Stout stuff. So the party is walking over here, basically trying to chase after Gloris, who is this dwarven fighter right here. She is with Stefan Turn, this sort of old orc lich that looks almost like a mummy. And the paladin, Sweet Pea, who's this tiefling, grabbed the Beastmaster Ranger's, beast companion by the name of Smoke, and they dimension doored in front of the lich. The monk has 1,000,000 feet of movement and essentially entered the chamber, saw what was going on, and splits filled over here. He ran through one of these pools, which is like, the presence of Bala, right? The party immediately is groaning like, God damn it, these blood pools. But if they physically move through them, these begin to try to suction downward into the plane of 9 hells. DC 11, con save. Not that hard. But if you fail, bad things start happening. Again, level 18. But the party is now... Oh, let me grab that. Dang it. I need my notebook from last session. Hold up. I don't know about how y'all are doing, but LA is hot. As I just hold the bottle, that's all I have. Thank you, my liege. But it's like been sitting at a solid dry 92. Hasn't felt good. Okay, let me see where we are in initiative. It's about to be Bilbin. I think it's about to be the Lich's turn. And I have the tape, I'll go back and review it. But let's just presume that it's the Lich's turn. He has this fighter under mind control. But what does he want? Why is he here in this Dark Hearth, right? Anytime a DM expresses concern, discomfort, or dissatisfaction with needing to more or less improvise RP because specifically they don't want to mess up like the lore or the story, It's not so much they're like, oh, I don't want to improvise. Oh, I don't want to RP. Like most DMs love that. Or at least like understand its purpose. But sometimes, and I fall into this too, you're like, oh shit, I need to go through my notes and like confirm what year the queen died. Like that kind of pressure and stress is almost always unnecessary, because you can either just straight up to the party be like, hey, I need to clarify the year, but this was around 750 when Queen Alagondar died. Or whatever. And then you go back and double check. Or you paint it and you're like, the memory was still fresh. The death of their queen. The court itself seemed to weep, the flowers fading. You know, that kind of vibe. Like, however you want to color it, you can choose to just not be specific with the year. The equivalent, or the answer to that, in my opinion, or a way that I like to sort of proactively prep, you know, your boy loves prep, is to really know what these NPCs want, what their motivation is. Because subsequently trying to decide on an option tree or a sequencing of choices becomes a lot easier because you know what these guys want. Okay, great. Yeah, so let's just chop it up about the Lich a little bit. He's an orc. In my mind, he's like 3,000 years old, maybe a little less than that. Stefan Tern. He was a miller here in this area back whenever it wasn't called Bixie Creek, it was called Bixelvan. He wears a robe of what looks like almost like bloody wildflowers. His sigil a rose encircled by droplets of blood. He has green eyes like candle flames. I mentioned that. What the hell is that? Well, that was wild. Let's see if that does that again. That's so strange. I clicked the button on my mouse I've never clicked. Life's a wild ride. What a wild ride. All right, let me scroll down this 300-page document yet again. But he talks about someone called the Black Sheath. Right? Cool. Yeah, the Black Sheath had caused the initial imbalance, allowing Bala this power, i.e. the power to make a lich out of a supporter of Shantea. Stefan Tern would step through the mirror of the princes into the library. Now he cannot, right. It's driving him mad. He spits out the name Telkun like a mouthful of poison. He washes his hands, his eyes burning. Give him to me, give me my recompense. Yeah. So Telkun is a minor villain in my campaign. He's one of like the last remaining question marks. He's connected to the Hells. And he's just kind of like a classic power-hungry son of a gun. But he came in because he wanted something from this then Lich. He wanted a tuning fork. And was going to trade him access through this mirror. And did. But the mirror led to a place that essentially had been completely, ransacked by Telkun. So it'd be like if he was like, hey, Lich, if you give me this, I'll give you this condo that's fully furnished. And then he gives him the condo, and he stole all the furniture off of it. There's also a little bit more. Like, there's a little bit more. Give me the fiend, give me the imprisoner, give me back my library, yes. This whole place was once a mill. And it wasn't necessarily, a temple to Shantea. It was just a workplace filled with people that, prayed to her, right? Yo, Carpe the Papa. What's up, Vago? Oh, sorry, that's old school. That's my old school pronunciation. I know it's Vog Lee. I know where the accent lives. Happy Wednesday. Check out the brightness of this screen capture, guys. Your boy figured it out. It took him 17 hours. I'm doing great, though. I'm curious, Vog, can you hear this AC? And is it hella loud? Because I clicked it on and I gotta know. Okay, so Evans and Sora. Right. Anabala. Okay, cool. So I think the Lich is basically going to be coming through. Got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't put on a limiter because I was like, I need to like fine tune that a little bit. I'm feeling good though. I'm going to turn it off. I'll be right back. Good pulp right there. A good pulp. Okay. We back. Thank you for your patience and your feedback. Vogley, how you doing? What's going down? We're midweek. We're almost there. We're broiling out here. Hey, yes. It had gotten extremely hot and extremely uncomfortable for that reason. But overall, pretty good. Like, it's been somewhat cloudy, which is rare for LA. LA is usually like full brightness, like terranium style, you know? I will say, I'm doing this play where I play two roles. I play a dog and a pirate. And it's definitely kind of a dream scenario, thank you, baby. But it has been so hot in Topanga that I have been averaging about 3 of these a show, which means 32 ounces an hour, which I guess doesn't sound like that much, but whenever you're drinking that at like 6 p.m. after you've already consumed however much water, it's kind of like, where does it go? You know what I mean? And I think the answer is out my pores into the ether as I'm sweating my life away. Well, I'm sorry you're broiling. My wife brought me an ice chip about 30 minutes ago. Babe, what's the deal on those ice chips? Yo, marshmallow. I don't, dude. This is as clean shaven as I've been in, I don't even know, probably the whole year? Yeah. Already miss it. But c'est la vie. I need it. I'm like actively growing it back. I'm supposed to have a mustache as Smee, so I'll need one by Saturday. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I had to shave for a little audition. You know I am a slave to the breakdown. What are you wearing? How are you shaving? Like the fine tuning of trying to time out a shave. There's an art to it. There's an art. A lot of factors, much in play. 68 ounces the daily intake on average for water, so 32. Right, exactly. 32 in just 3 hours. That's crazy. I popped in and no hair. I know. Someone took my stash in the night. But life is well, man. We're about to F these guys up, or they're about to fuck them up. How you doing there, Marshmallow? Vog and I were talking about how it is burning the world over. Hope you get a swamp cooler close, or a partner that's bringing you ice chips. I think. Anyway, let's get into this. I was recapping what had happened. Like, basically, combat had broken out between the Lich and the party, and that had been preceded by multiple groups of 20 plus skeletons that had almost entirely been blown to bits by the cleric's turn undead. And the Lich kind of stepped forward. The party isn't taking him all that seriously, and he casts Dominate Monster on the fighter and begins escorting her off, like he's leading his girlfriend of 4 years, right? I mean, like arm in arm, hand on her hand, as they walk through this chamber of blood and death. And he asks her, have you ever seen a god? And she hasn't. And they press up onto these steps when they are vehemently pursued. And right now we're in combat. But what's about to happen is this. I know, dude. Thank you. Sparkling to your health. Yes, agreed. Thank you, Vog. We got a lot to be thankful for, y'all. Even the fact that hair grows back. All right? I do desperately wish, with a stash, with a beard, like desperately, wish I could just peel it on and off. Or roll up some chops, widen them. You know what I mean? But not some adhesion fake beard. I want to be able to like grow it out like some sort of, you know, who am I thinking of? Sabertooth-esque X-Men ability. There was a guy that I knew. This guy's so funny. I don't feel like I feel like he's more now in like producing. But he was actor, comedian, very funny dude. Had a headshot that was just like, you know, white guy. But he had a clear, translucent sheet attached to the headshot that had nothing on it. It was completely translucent, except exactly over his face was a beard. But it was his beard from another very similar shot that he had isolated and printed on this, like, you know, cellophane. And it was unlike anything I'd ever seen. Like, I think of that whenever I'm like, dude, that is some clever shit. Good job. You should get some work. And he's funny as heck. He's very funny. It was super smart. But like, even before that, I've wanted the Velcro option. You know what I'm saying? And then I saw that and I was like, now I really want this shit. Okay, so here's about to be the rundown, guys. And thank you. Keep the hydrates coming. Oof. Yeah, the length of the stash, the curl is pretty powerful. I pulled that during the pandemic. I've had the sheriff, but it's like months in the making. What you got going? Just straight vertical? Because you can, if you get some length, even if you just got the straight walrus brush, you know what I'm saying? You get some wax, baby boy. You could part the Red Sea. You could part the Red Sea with the right wax. But did you have the Hoffman hook? No. But we do have an incredible actor. Lynn something. Lynn Eric something? He just moved to LA. But he's OG. He's been acting in Ohio for 20 years. He's killing it. But he plays Hook. And he plays a hilarious Hook. And I kind of play Smee like sort of like a, oh, I don't know, almost like a sweet little, you know, a man that, well, no, he never settled down and he never had a mother. He'd like to have a mother or something, someone to maybe share some time with. And he's kind of like, he kind of fills that role with Hook. You know what I mean? Like, he's sort of married to Hook. Anyway, I'm so close to getting Shakespeare. I love it. But I don't actually enjoy a lot of Shakespeare. And yeah, boy, it goes to the edge of my lips. Interesting. Okay, great. Then if you just trim a little bit, that oftentimes will initiate more growth from the hair. Keep snipping, little snips, grow that shit down. And then you wax that baby out, dude. I believe in you, Marshmallow. Update is in the Discord. Yeah, I love Shakespeare. What are you reading that you're enjoying? Would probably be my question. I have a kit? Okay, I'll back up. You send me some notes. I'll just hang up and listen. So they're in combat right here, right? The Lich just used all three. Well, let me think about this. I need to check the tape to see where exactly we are in initiative. I believe it is the Lich's turn. But I vividly remember that near the end of it, he used Disrupt Life. But I'm also thinking because of this tether right here that he recently had a lair action. So we might be at the top of initiative. I need to check. Either way, the first thing that's going to happen is the Lich will turn to Gloris and say, "Your friends are quite persistent. Come, we will let the lair take care of them. And he will grab her hand, step a foot back, and cast Dimension Door. Now, the Tiefling Paladin, who is a beast, took the Mage Slayer feat. And as such, they get to use their reaction to attack anyone that casts a spell within 5 feet of them. And that's why he's going to step away, to kind of, not allow that to happen. But he's going to Dimension Door into an area that is more or less like 2 maps from here. If you go up through here, you guys, it's blacked out on the owlbear, but you can see like what's green. If the party comes up through here, they get here, and they see a symbol spell. And let me just see. And I mentioned this to Richter, and I'm curious, like, all the DM's thoughts on this. The first one was so much better. I don't know why I'm tripping about this. I kind of just want to double it to make it look a little bit more intentional as opposed to someone with palsy. You know what I mean? Like, all good if you have palsy. In fact, more power to you. I just don't want anyone to misconstrue my physical condition. I'm just a poor sketch artist. I do not have palsy. Right? Okay, we're clear. Fake it till you make it exactly. Rereading the Odyssey. Wow. Ancient writ. The Odyssey is actually a great place to reference just like storytelling period, right? It's so epic. Like, it's such a wide scale adventure. There's a lot of character motivation. Some powerful themes. Look, I'm sure we all had I'm sure we were all sophomores at one point. As Prospera, wow. Helimurin is great. I have not seen that retelling of The Tempest. That's rad. Marshmallow, keep us posted. If the party heads this way, they are going to be hit by a symbol spell. But I like to use symbol from 2nd edition. Here we go. Magic runes affecting the creature. 1 or more creatures whose total hit points do not exceed 80 are slain. 1 or more. Discord. All creatures are affected and immediately fall to loud bickering and arguing. Wow. That's amazing. I love Discord. An extra strong fear spell causing all creatures to save with -4 penalties to the die roll or panic and flee. Insanity. Hopelessness. Pain. Wow. Maybe we do pain. This is sick. A -2 penalty to dexterity and a -4 penalty to attack rolls. There's nothing that I fuck with harder than early edition D&D spells. That shit is nasty. That is Mick nasty with a flurry because they fixed the machine. Yes. They will live and perish on your answer, my brother. Brother. Whether they live or die is on your sword, brother. I like that. You know I'm never more alive than when someone's death is in my hands. That's why I'm a DM. Let's consult the chat, guys. My players' lives are in your hands. In the Death House, do I throw some extra animated armors at them? No, I gave them the deck of many things at level 1. Wow. Is that what that's supposed to be? No, I gave them? Wow. This is hilarious to me. I mean, a level 1? Okay. No, I gave them the deck of many things at level 1. Marshmallow, that's so silly. I love that. You're like, I opened the campaign with a bomb. A bomb went off. No, I think no to the extra armor. The extra animated suit of armor. Because as someone that recently went through as a level 1 player with some, you know, very invested D&D players, I think there's 6 of us. And spoilers for Strahd coming up. Be-doo, be-doo, be-doo. Here they are. At the bottom of the death house, right, there's that room with the shambling mound. And it is like awful as is. Like that fight already is nasty. You know what I mean? Like it's coming. It's coming for you. So that's why for me, like let them get a win. You know? Like the animated suit can hit pretty hard for level 1, you know what I mean? And they're about to like roll down. I just feel like even if they take a short rest, some shit's probably going to go down in the basement. You know? So maybe let them catch a win before they catch a heavy loss. Okay. Yes, okay, great. Marshmallow, I can't wait. As you know, I was turned to a lich in my Curse of Strahd campaign. Alright, it's time. That's why I think it really shocked me so much. Like, I mean, I was stunned. Like, whenever I heard that, I was like, but wait, you guys are about to run into a lich that used to be a miller that worked in this place of Shantae, and my bard was an acolyte of Shantae, and now he's a lich? So is it the same guy? It got me. Anyway, they make it this lich and his dominated fighter, Glorus, who's awesome and hilarious, and played by the DM that turned me into a lich. So he and I've already texted where I'm like, bro, I'm not trying to immediately punish you for my own journey in Curse of Strahd. But that do be how it goes sometimes. Your friends are very persistent. He'll cast Dimension Door. He's gone. If they follow after this way, I'm probably going to make a wisdom save here. Just because I want them to like start getting some of the like the history of this place. They go here. This is an unlocked door, but there will be a symbol spell of pain. Give it up for DJ Pain. But this for me, especially because of the length of the campaign, and maybe the stakes feel elevated because my character was just turned into a fucking lich. This for me, I think is going to be a very bad encounter for them. Between the milling antechamber. Oh, what the hell? Where's my symbol spell, y'all? There it is. Shout out to Theo Wu and his GitHub, though. Great. You know I'm just a little bit OCD whenever it comes to format. You know? Like, obviously I'm just a touch OCD. Yeah, Lich Bard is going to live a good life. He'll sing some epic songs of his own tragedies. They will not get any moment of peace in this house. Well, it is called the Death House. It's a good move. Yeah, I know, man. I really was genuinely. But you know what has me uplifted? Is the fact that, like, I'm playing D&D tomorrow. Life is good. And I figured out how to brighten up the fucking window capture, guys. Let's get it. I'm the man up in this piece.
Let's go.
Oh, I hit the wrong one.
I'm the man
up in this piece. I co-signed Denzel laughing, though. Okay. So they'll be hit with this simple spell. One thing I have right here, right? Retcon, slight running by the statue. We talked about this last session too. This is a statue of Marek Alagondar, essentially like 2 generations ahead or 3 generations ahead of Queen Azrin, who is a part of the Dragon of Icespire Peak, a dwarven queen. She's the one that has the Dragon Slayer, this ancient sword that the paladin now wields. And this statue is meant to be kind of a safeguard, because this was, a mill, but it connects deeper to different areas of dwarven significance. And so I had felt pretty good about the styling of that, honestly, because that was right here. Antechamber, statue of Malak. There we go. Very similar to Chief Rannick. Yep. And let me just go ahead and just going to copy that. Actually, fuck it, let's do. Gondar, Gondar. Cool. So I forgot whenever the monk used his 1,000,000 feet of speed that he was basically running by this stone statue. The cleric did notice that there was some rune work on the side of the statue, so I'm going to give that the opportunity to potentially, avoid this. Rakshasa and 2 other minions. Yep. So basically, he'll be pulled almost into like a memory of Malak, who will pull out this enormous broadsword and extend it at slight. Long may the peace of the wild reign. Answer, when is the day of harvest? And the answer was basically like anything to do with Shantaea, like whenever Shantaea says it is, or on Shantaea's day, or some version of all days or all mornings, for the harvest is ever coming. That's what I love about Shantaea, is like, she's so accessible and so comprehensive and so of the people, right? On a wrong answer or something overly sassy, don't get too sassy, bro. It will necessitate a con save or take 3d10 or half. Cool. Let's make it an intelligence save. There's not enough intelligence saves, and they've been doing tons of con saves, so fuck it. Okay, love it. Okay. So I'll retcon that. This guy will teleport into a further chamber. And let me walk you through where this goes, right? This is the second chamber down. This was the first. Where is it? This is where the party got like trapped by the fake Bilbin, who I want to make sure I don't forget about. Cool. Establish what Bilbin is doing, because I don't want to forget the real Bilbin. It's sort of like, who the hell are you guys anyways? Help get me out of here, would you? Come on. I ain't trying to die down here in this darkness. Yo, Marshmallow, do what you gotta do. I am streaming Friday. Elden Ring DLC. Let's go. Rick 5295, you about to get chopped, bro. Rick, buckle up. Buckle up. You've been banned. You've been banned, Rick. Felt good. I would be lying if I said that power didn't feel good. I'll be here Friday. Marshmallow, thanks for coming through. Keep working on that mustache, dude. Just snip the tips of the mustache. Yeah? But be well, buddy. Appreciate you coming through. Digital hugs. Okay, what has Bill been doing? He'll be coming up and trying to help them. But yeah, let me walk you through it. So this was the entrance. They came through. This is tied to some like Feywild shit that Shantaea is associated with. I knew they would reference that. These are 2 dead bodies. This is where the party is. There were tons of skeletons that they've like blown to bits, but that's now over. Then that brought you into the map we were just on, which leads all the way through that winding tunnel into a doorway that has a symbol of pain spell. Not a symbol of T-pain. That would be a good time. This is simply pain. Beyond that is this crypt. It's basically of the Allegondars, but has been corrupted. If they walk past this is called the Prayer of Harvest. Yo, Vog, get over here. Yeah. You walk in the club, you be like, hey, what's up? It's like, dude, I'm actually having a great time in this dungeon. Oh, my lord. This is another army of undead. I think the cleric has one more turn undead. Do clerics get 4 channel divinities? No, just 3, right? There are memories of those that once worshipped Saloon that are now like consumed by Maroth's memory, this red fire dragon that's established lore because Bala now controls the body of a dragon. I love that shit. But basically they're going to come into a once holy place that was also further desecrated. Armies of undead. He is not here because he will have teleported elsewhere. But this right here is a diamond of some import, his phylactery. And beyond that is a chamber leading to a once holy place. Now unholy, I think, wouldn't even touch on the feel of it. There can be a disco ball, Vog. Let's move into this unholy space that is brightened by a single spotlight on a rotating disco ball. Dance your heart away. So they come in through this way, right? They'll need a successful investigation check. Cool. Gondars, a once holy place. Whoop. Okay. Desecrated. Many of the film. Oh my gosh. Many of the coffins and shrines cracked open. Their bodies now summoned with artificial life. The cruel power of a blood god. And this is going to be fun because literal nobles, their vestments well kept in this dry air. Lurch and lumber, their hearts and minds long forfeit. You know, let me check something of which his next phylactery is a disco ball. That would be incredible. I cast the symbol of T-pain. Let's go back to page 2 and read Glorious' story, backstory. Former brewmaster, co-owner, left an abusive relationship, sold her stake. She's a jeweler, loves making them, collecting them. Citadel Adbar, fought in the wars with King Bruner. In the midst of a battle for Mithril Hall, Glorious' father ran away. Great. Where is Mithril Hall? Locating. Mithril Hall, cool. So quite a good ways away. They are like here-ish. Like kind of east of Blackford Crossing. Tuggle Butts. Glorious Tuggle Butts. Yep. Mrs. Butts. Yeah, she's a salty old broad. It's Miss Butts to you, Vog. Alright. Miss Butts to you. Okay, great. So her father fought with King Bruner. That's what I wanted to check. Great, great, great. Oh my gosh, we haven't even gotten to Annaballa. It's gonna be great. Oh my god. Bro, dude, do you... Okay, like... I mean, what the fuck? Like, this is what trips me out so hard about this. Like, I love D&D so much. And it killed me. It metaphorically killed me. To experience my character becoming a lich. There's some things about it I simply... Well, there's almost every aspect of it that I despise. But I do respect it. And I do understand what happened. And I do understand my intention and the failure to succeed in the execution of that intention, right? That's a one-to-one relationship, or I saw me. Doesn't make it any less, cutting. Obviously, you guys were there for that. I appreciate y'all's support. I'm good. I was good even then, but it was raw. It was like the evening before, and it was on the following Monday. But the beauty and the serendipity, and I had made Mazrim, this bard, with the background of an acolyte of Shantaea, because I loved where this campaign was with Shantaea. Like the goddess of the people, her power had been ripped up and harnessed by this divination wizard in Neverwinter, and they'd righted that wrong. And now, as this sort of seesaw of power between these members of the old pantheon was reaching a fervor pitch, they are coming closer to Bala herself, to this, mill, yes, just like a granary, but that's essentially a holy site to Shantaea. Like where grain is harvest, where the people that light candles in her name gather and move forward with their purpose and vocation, like that is a precious place to this ancient god. And therefore the idea that a bard that kind of comes from that similar tradition, I made him from Baldur's Gate, so a larger place, that then, well-intentioned as he may have been, falls prey to some dark power and loses his way. And they now find themselves in a once holy place desecrated by a blood goddess and lorded over by a lich. And the serendipity of that is just buck wild. You know what I'm saying? It's buck wild. For real. Okay. That was the passionate rant of the day, of which there may be several more. If the nobles kept their servants with them, wow, that would be creepy as hell, Vog. I like that. Let's put that in. Mini. Brunner. Or House. Alla Gondar. It's Alla Gondar. I've been misspelling it. Oh no, I got it right there. Their servants in simple tunics still stagger behind them. Them in retinue. That's funny. I love that, Vogue. That's very, very funny. Appreciate you letting me know how she likes being addressed. Exactly. I know. Really? Becoming a lich was rough? Yeah. Exactly. This is like a real darkness. No, I mean, whenever the lich said to the fighter, have you ever seen a god? That was not an empty question. That was the possibility of seeing just that. Yeah. Oh yeah, they're coming through. And honestly, like, any excuse is a good excuse. So they could come in here. They could check out this area. He has his own little mirror that leads to the library. It doesn't work as well as it once did. These are pantheons of the Old North. This is more or less a situation where the party is going to have to navigate this, while elsewhere, where we're about to go, the fighter has been teleported to. So I liked the idea that this mill. I mean, obviously the dwarves dig into the mountains. They feel comfortable in underground spaces like that. But even there, even within the mountain itself, there are... Oh, fuck, you're right, Vogue. I need to put in that other trap. Ooh. Thank you for saying traps. Where are we? There we go. Let me get out my handy dandy green sketch tool. Oh yeah. You know we're really getting to work. So I want to just like, actually I'm going to do it like this. And this is how I'm going to do it. Beautiful, flawless, no notes, perfect. Yes. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh, that's how, oh, it's getting even better. Yes. But I want to keep it all as one piece because I'm going to make it invisible. This way only I can see it and I don't forget. This way I won't forget. Honestly, I still might forget. Okay, mini where the colors are King Bruner. Lich's Chamber. I just want to put this down. I'm like spelling shit all weird today. I don't know why. Lich's Chamber has a copy of the Ruminations on the Pantheons of the Old North. This is a book that has come up multiple times. Portal of the Princes, leading to the library, where the Cypriexes no longer reside. Cool. I know. It's the heat. Dude, exactly. And I'm telling you, even more so, obviously, for women. But, dude, having a child, like, suctions so much of my RAM in my caloric reservoir that it's like, yeah. I'm at this show on Saturday, or Sunday, rather. I've been freaking out all day because I just was stressed and, like, had a lot going on. And I couldn't find these very specific, very thin pants, all right? They're not short, they're thin. And I needed them in the sense that, do we really need anything? But I wanted to have them because I wear these enormous knee guards in Peter Pan. And it's just really uncomfortable to, like, rock these huge knee pads, skin on pad, you know what I mean? So I like to wear these thin pants and put the knee pads over the top. There it is. Flandy doesn't even have to redeem a secret. There it is. But I couldn't find the pants. And I'm like, what the F? What the F? And I'm like so tired and I can barely spell anything, much like now. And I'm like, well, you got to go, Johnny. It's time to beat traffic to the valley. So giddy up, saddle up, and ride on. And yeah, I love that. Yo, Vogue, I'm going to kick that back to you. Bless you. You're like, here are some more secrets. Appreciate you, girl. But I show up and it had been laundry day for our costumes, thank God, since I sweat through them completely. And I'd forgotten that I'd put in the pants in with the laundry, like a goddamn pro. Okay, I'm officially on stroke watch, all right? Everyone keep an eye. Cool. Okay, Crypt of the Elegandars. There's another symbol spell. This is why we're here. Man, Marley's huffing and puffing back there. Okay, so what of the litany of symbol spell options should we go with, guys? Hopelessness? Good one. I think it's maybe hopelessness, discord, death is a fucking good one. Ugh. Okay, I mean, should we just go death? Like, death is insane. I think we go death. Madness is great. Okay, let's see. Pain, already did pain. Sleep. All creatures under 8+1 hit die immediately fall into a catatonic slumber and cannot be awakened. Well, that would be none of them. Stunning. One or more creatures whose total hit points do not exceed 160 are stunned and reeling for 3d4 rounds, dropping anything they are holding. This type of symbol cannot be recognized without being read and thus activating its effects. Wow. So it can't even be recognized? Jesus. Death, confusion, and rage in that order. In that order, girl. What do we think, though? It feels like it should just be death. You know? Look, who are we kidding? It's clearly death, right? I think it's got to be death. So it's death. Anyone with less than 80 hit points dies. Fuck it. What's the DC? I guess it's the Lich's DC, which is 18. It's 19. 19? 19? Yeah, sorry, Vog. Okay, death it is. It's death there. I mean, maybe it shouldn't be, but I feel like it has to be. The DC is 19, though. DC 19, though. Schnikerooskies. Whew, okay. I agree. I think the aspect, though, is the... The dude has power word kill as well, you know? I've experienced knitters and flaters. I love it. You're like, but then again, I've seen a lot of now ones at my table. Yeah, I'm hesitating because I at this stage in the game, I think it's rare that I should pull any punches at all unless I'm really homebrewing a lot of shit. Because that's when balance becomes especially hard to predict, in my experience. Unless I'm reskinning something, it's hard to always know. Let's do this. I'm curious what old Kasun would think if I had Lich in layer. Love it. So easy is 2 Liches even hard. Now that's deadly. What a jump. Okay. Cool. So we have a Lich, we have a Rakshasa. But it's already spent its 4th level, so it's not as strong. I mean, what's going on? Oh, got it. Got it. Is it spelled like this? Rakshasa, great. Okay, so this is hard. And now they're about to face a god. The party is 18. Yeah, the party is 18. I mean, I'm reticent to pull any punches because I think that is kind of... I mean, that's definitely the campaign we've been running. It's like set to deadly. But like at level 18, I think we just gotta let that shit rip. You know? Okay. The problem is... I was going to have her pull out the memory of Maroth the Red. This is deadly, right? Yeah. So what's the total cost? 103. Difficulty TPK. Hilarious. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so let's talk about it. This is what we're dealing with. In the chamber outside this, the chamber that leads here, right, through this enormous kind of like gristing room that has this huge circular stone mill, like a milling wheel. On the other side of that is the Lich, whose lair we're in, and she has control of this level 18 Battlemaster fighter. She's had the fighter throw down both weapons. Hang on. Let me just put establish. Threw down her weapons. And the master of the lair took what was his name? Barak's golden blade. I know. The mind control is backbreaking. And I really did feel bad because literally 2 days prior, this same player, whose player character I had control over, was DMing, and like I said, turned my character into a Lich. Or, I mean, I ran a world where I turned myself into a Lich. Yeah. Oh, also have lair attack, for sure. For sure. But listen, my party is, like, stout as hell. But they've already been fighting. This Lich has gotten them a little bit. They're now going to come through here, get hit with these guys. One of them is going to be an ogre skeleton. They're going to be running forward. They'll have to succeed on an investigation check to move forward here, right? And on the other side of it lies the reason that this mill was first built. A natural cold spring. And a tree so ancient it was said to predate civilization, the dwarves themselves. Okay, wait. We'll get to Avendasora. We got to do the symbol spell, Vog. I hear you on DC 19 being a heavy save for the result to be death. You know? So what kind of save is it? Oh, wow. Symbol of spell loss? This that shit right here. You know liches are most concerned with other fucking wizards. Now, this orc was a miller, but an adventurer. And one that sort of like fell into impressed service almost amongst these dwarves. This is what we got to do. The symbol remains until it has erased 60 levels of spells. I'm sorry, what? Wow. This is what we're doing. Okay. Now let me just see by comparison what 5e symbol looks like, right? Yes. 60 levels of spell. That's insane. This is fucking buck wild. Hi, this is Buck Wild. Oh, nope. Shaboink, shaboink. What? Huh. Well, F me, man. Edit. and fish. Huh. Well, I guess I'll just turn it white. It is dark. But why, though? But why? But, clear formatting. Let's get it. Okay, great. This is awesome. Yo, balls! The boy lives. How are you, buddy? Bugles up. Waylon is awesome. Golly, man. Can't complain. He's doing great. You know. He's holding stuff with both hands. He's eating his feet every chance he gets. This was so precious, man. He's in the bath yesterday. And he loves, like sucking on his feet. And especially when he's in the bath and gets all warm. He's all, like, loosey-goosey, you know? And he is chomping on his feet. And he bit down so hard. He just goes, like... and burst in tears. Like, he bit his own foot so hard, it made him cry. Feet are delish. He's getting to it. Yo, Balls, how you doing, dog? Talk to me as I turn on this fan. Sorry, grabbing some more water. Sorry. Oh, you're good? Okay, cool. Yeah, man. I was hanging out with a buddy of mine I hadn't seen last night. And we're, of course, talking about Waylon and, like, you know, what's been up, how life's been, etc. And I can barely find the words to describe it because it's so unlike anything I've ever experienced. I just spilled all over myself. Excuse me. I'm like, huh. We're both learning to drink from cups. I will say, yeah. Like, breastfeeding is a trip, regardless. Like, for me, as a spectator. And like, the moments where he is just, like, coming up for air, just like, and his face is just, like, smeared with milk. It just cracks me up so much. I'm like, bro, you are drunk. Stay at him, have another glug. I call him the little chugboat captain. Okay, but let's look at the symbol spell in 5e, because this is going to be comparatively some lightweight shit. Okay. So this one can be found. The other one, like, could not be found. This one requires a investigation check against the spell save DC, which is 19. Vog, you are awesome. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for hollering. Good luck at the event. Come through on Friday if you want. I'm going to die a lot. The most include touching or stepping the glyph, removing another object covering it. Wisdom. Okay, great. Con, and this will be intelligence. Great. Cool. Man, yeah, my party is facing a lich. It's going to be ready. So they come in through here. And let me just get this ready to go. Cool. Excuse me. Let's get on some vibey shit. Yo, it's a vibe. Get on board with the vibe. A sip. I said. Cool. Let me know if it's too loud. Also, Vog, if you can still hear me, I'm so excited to play Cthulhu soon. Smoochos. Smoochos, muchos. Come here, must walk across it. Sweet. Yeah, I know. I truly cannot wait. Also, that Saturday, I'm recording an in-person... Sick. It's gonna be so dope. An in-person Cthulhu sesh that I'm gonna upload. I think it'll be really fun. God's willing. God, I like the idea of this lich being so old that it uses 2nd edition advanced D&D rules, particularly for the symbol spell. You know what I mean? Okay, let me just double check that I have everything I want here. A crypt, not desecrated. There was something I was just thinking about that I'm missing here. Wow. Forgot about these extra layer actions. That's dope as fuck. Let me see. I had a bit more, and I'm not sure where I moved it. Let me just double check here. Harvester's Prayer. Here it is. This is where it is. Okay, great. So this thing on Yield Owlbear is the same kind of almost like prayer wheel or like, you know, runic outline that is at the beginning of the crypt that is the chamber that leads here. And I mentioned that there was, you know, once a cold spring, a holy place like that saw this magical tree take root, and you see that it's almost growing in reverse. Its roots stretch upwards towards the surface. All that sit within it receive a free commune spell with Shantae, even in this current form. +2 charisma wall within the space, and a sense of peace and well-being. But now, it's rotted, corrupted by the power of Bala. Blood oozes from its trunk. Its once proud limbs are shriveled and brittle. The tree roots, once growing in reverse upwards towards the surface, now bend back downwards, pulled below towards the mistress whose bidding moves them. And as they walk into this space, they will be forced to make a wisdom save, or be pulled into a memory. And this, for me, I mean, it's in keeping with the holy sites of the old gods in my campaign, of which this is one. And it's been like the main thrust, or one of the main motivators behind the action or conflict, has been the jealousy and struggle of these ancients, right? That even competitiveness, even spite and jealousy reach the heavens and the astral plane. And they're pulled almost into like a shard of an astral exchange between Bala and Shantae as one took over the space of another. Miners celebrating the peace of the wild, cries for Decanthar and the Knights in Silver, cries for House Alakandar. But not all well pleased. Some dwarves felt orcs still their enemy. More miners, dwarves, families at peace at home in the rock. The use of Zorn to help sniff out caches of diamonds buried deep within the rock. The subsequent greed, the digging too deep, doors being opened too far. The Zorns pulling back, fearing what lurked beneath, but being whipped and urged downward. Wait a minute. What the shit is this? Well, damn it. I had you beautifully outlined. Oh, cool. Look at that. Look at that. Freestyling it? Let's go. Wait, but where was I? I was in the middle of throwing something down that I liked. Look beneath. Yet spurned forward. Jesus. With whips. I want so badly to get off this, like, edit bullshit. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Okay, cool. Thank you for the suggestion from myself. I appreciate that. I'm going to use it. It's a great suggestion. Thank you, self. In another memory, this is another, like, person. You know, this is like, I should probably go ahead and separate it. You see a group of adventurers, 2 strong. They have the sigil of Shantae emblazoned on their armor and vestments. You see them fall, one by one, until an auburn-haired woman remains. She grits her teeth, cries out in pain. As her features pale, her teeth lengthen. Undeadness blooms across her. She is swallowed and carried upward. Upward into the darkness. You see nightmares unfold. The stretch of death against a once precious land, across a once precious land. The ancient. You see a man playing a harp, a skeletal hand working the strings in time. You see him touching a corpse. His body stiffen, his eyes roil. His eyes glaze. You see him becoming a corpse himself. Yet still moving. A new power. A new power within him. Cool. And if only one person fails this save, you know what? No, because I like to have saves that sometimes if you fail them, cool shit happens. You know? I don't know. Sometimes it's fun. A cave in starvation, death, madness, if you live. Yeah. Bala consume this place, yeah. And this is going to be how I see this going down. And this, to me, is something that I feel like is kind of not like hard to do, like, oh, I'm so good, but like is going to be kind of challenging, but I want to go for it because I think it could be the most fun version of the session if executed. But the Lich will dimension door with the dominated fighter, and they will land here in this area of this tree of giving of Indesora, this tree that had almost sprung from this magic spring. Originally, its roots had pressed towards the surface, almost like a gift to those above, but now as Bala had wrought her influence over this space, the roots bent back downwards, pulling towards the hells and the goddess that rules them. And likely for the party, they will already have experienced the harvest prayer, the kind of the flashback impact of this rune work. But Gloris will not have. Well, interesting. Yes, recurring enemies. Great. Okay, great. So this moment will be more for Gloris, for the fighter that's being dominated, to kind of have this cool thing. But she'll walk over this. This place was not always like this. It was fertile ground that gave bloom to a dark seed. I like that shit. They will then see a flashback. And this, honestly, guys, is like a deep cut. I think the party will vibe with it and be like, God damn. Oh my god. Oh my god. But who knows? Who fucking knows? And they know that originally Bala, at least in our lore of the campaign, was almost created through a moment of jealousy between Maliki and Saloon. And they will now see that unfold. They will see a human there, a young, sweet girl, Annabella. A scorpion crawling from the edge of the pond. Saloon and Maliki hesitating. The scorpion striking the young girl. A wreath of wild blooming flowers appearing over her as she reaches to heal, but Saloon cries out and glows. She's mortal. Stay your hand, lest your blood mix. And this mortal girl, stung in front of these demigods, falls into a pool, begins to sink. A bloody fall into great depths. The mother, Shantea, comes running. Yo, that's an L, all right? I love that. Yo, you need to just go L and then O and then another L. No, I love a good pocket text. My dad and I talk a good amount, but I also have a archive of hours of pocket dial voice messages that honestly I don't need to keep. Not much is happening. But the girl falls into the pool. She sinks. The mother, Shantea, comes running, shouting for her girls. With each footfall of this warmth, this matron steps forward, and in this chamber, you see wheat, almost like popping, almost like glowing, standing tall and warm. But her face is crested with concern, her daughters, and this ward of her. She cannot reach her in time. She screams at the two girls. She rages, the wheat around her turning black and blistered. No! No! None shall fall in the shadow of her grace. None! You see her speaking to swaths of followers, but instead of holding sickles and hoes. Maybe I'll change that. Not cycle. How the fuck do you spell sickle? I guess there's a K, huh? Yeah. Hoes. Long swords and axes. She charges them. Go forth. Seek evil, find evil. Banish the darkness. Bring back the day of harvest. Everything goes black. And then a small girl will step forward. And anyone that's really played D&D, anyone that's really gotten after it, they know that if a tiny girl shows up, much less one covered in blood, that's bad news bears, baby boy. That's bad news bears. It's not what you want. If there are young children or old women in the dungeon, you gotta go. You gotta go. Because that's trouble. So he will see like almost this play unfold. Like I'm going to select her and her and her. And they'll pop in. Cool. And after that, they'll all go away, and this pool will become red, as this bish now controls it. And that's where I'm tied up. Because if we go back to the encounter maker, 6 level 18s versus a Lich and a Rakshasa is already hard. What if we gave her like a young red dragon? What? How would a young red dragon affect this? A young red dragon has 178 hit points? What? Is this real? A young dragon? What's the CR? 10? That's insane. Yeah, fuck it. That's what's happening. We're doing it. I don't care. No. The child is a god. Essentially, almost like an avatar in this space. Controlled from the astral plane. Annabala. She steps forward. Hello? Is this who they sought? Stefan turned. I know not, mistress, but this one seems stronger than all. One to come to worship, to cleanse what was sullied, one as recompense. Come with me. She holds out her palm, and shadowy specters of great beasts, claimed by Bala, and moves through them, almost like scrolling, these distorted images. The lives and forms and spirits of those offered up to this blood goddess. You see like soldiers, battalions, an Ifrit, a giant dire bear, an Etten. You see knights. You see Edgeblade, this NPC they know. You see the scorpion, this ice shield orc they fought with 6 gigantic arms. The speed of the image accelerates dozens and dozens and dozens before it stops. On the heavy, beating wings of a young red dragon, long slain. Come, ye brooding blood, come, rise, quicken as a child, as my child, my champion. And this is what I mean whenever I say that homebrew can get sticky. Because is it too much? Also, why is the Lich bringing her here? To show her this? To kill her here? You know what I mean? I don't know. What the Lich does with the fighter who's dominated is the biggest question mark for me right now. I want kind of an overhead view. Cool. This is dope. Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Vlog, you're so funny. Is that Flandy? That's hilarious. Okay, Icespire. Characters, tokens. Cool. Thank you, Sir Yorick. Shout out to Sir Yorick. Beast. Kid's a beast. Let's give it up for Yorick. Yeah, but give me your thoughts, Balls. Like, the party's so late stage. The other option here is that, and this maybe is the better option. Interesting, interesting. Huh. I'm torn. Okay. We're running out of time, so let's just check this. The Pixies will be there. The Pixies, like, once lived in this space in the Cold Spring whenever it was, you know, holy to Shantaea. They'll be pumped if they win. They'll offer to help some people out. They'll have some information. Okay, great. Okay, I think I did... No, we need the preamble. Here we go. Where's the lich? Here we go. Raided the library of the house. Let me just write this. It's obsessed. You're obsessed. I feel like liches are pretty obsessive people. Yes? Yeah. For sure. Confirmed. Okay, like you can see, I mean, there's a lot here. I think Bilbin will try to talk everyone out of it, heading back out the way they came in. Okay, great. This is dope. So let's write the preamble to this, huh? So maybe yeah. This is great. Add phone stuff. That's a note to myself. Surprise. Okay, so maybe to see Trent, who just went slugs. The rest of you goes or die here. Doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter to me. Yeah, yeah. A riff on Bala. Goddess of Death, Murder. In my way, sort of the antithesis of Shantaea, right? I think, I don't quite know. So here's what I'm dealing with. As you guys know, like the party was meant to kind of, you know, conclude. And cool, great. And so now I'm really wanting to be fair, but like I'm just having to take much deeper cuts. Originally, see, I already have them on the map. Originally, I was going to have Trent sort of be here. Maybe stepping through one of the pools. Maybe whenever she is like pulling out all these like, you know, ballin' champions, right? He's like, no need for that. No need for any of that. And she turns back and is surprised to see him. I mean, Anna B. That wasn't the arrangement. You ask for them to be offered. None said how or who would render the deed. You know what I'm saying now? A jealous champion, interesting. Like Trent is the jealous champion. Interesting. Maroth I liked because they sort of were kind of tickling around, understanding that this blood goddess was like claiming the spirits of like dead beasts and warriors and champions. Trent is a living version of that, but is almost like on par. He's almost a demigod himself. He holds a partial list of true names. He can, you know, summon demons to his will against their own wants and wishes. So maybe he steps forward and is like, this is something I need to do myself. The other option, originally back here, is where I had that mirror that now resides in the Lich's chamber. Right? So I could, and they know that these are more or less like, you know, teleporters, often that run through the fucking hells. Like there's a 1-for-1, like where there's one mirror, there was another mirror elsewhere, and they are like stepping through a doorway, right? I think perhaps it makes more sense for this to be in there. Cool. Cool. Love it. Cool. Cool. Yeah, this could be a really bad session for them. Lich still has power word stun. He used a lair action to regain his 8th level spell. Schnikes. Schnikes. Okay, I fucks with that. This Calder, that's the priest, held forth his shield. The light and lightning already gathering towards a holy pulse of undead instruction. The creature crested the top of the steps. His hair was fine and long, like caught cobwebs. Top, a greenish gray and pockmarked skull. Do you seek to win the mistress willingly? Alive, dead, it matters not. You saw the embodiment of death, of unholy power, as it laced control and full domination over Loris. The two walked arm in arm, unconcerned. The rest of you racing to intervene. Yo, Ozzy! Are you in danger? Ozzy, are you in danger? Drop 6969 into the chat. No, shoot, dude. How can we help? Azzy, I love you, dude. Get in here. Welcome. That is hysterical. That's so good. Honestly, like, I could see a world where you're just clawing for your phone. Somehow you tap the go live push notification. And here you are. And here we are, trying to intervene and solve a murder. Azzy, I'm great, dude. How are you? Happy Wednesday. It's the spirits of the dead, slain, were called forth, having painted this mill in death. Its undead master now spinning souls forward like a skilled marionette. Marionetteer? Marionetteer? I guess just puppeteer, but I think both work. You know what I mean? Balls! Dude, that is the funniest shit in the world. That is very funny. Rolled in that one on saying hi. Hi, you rolled in that one on saying hi. It's like, help. God bless. Just woke up and recently made some D&D characters. That is a good combo. Are these NPCs, Ozzy, or what's going on? This place was once a mill, a granary, connected to the old dwarven cities of the north. Cities unlike the citadels that no longer standing, wiped away by strife and time. Look close, storm chasers. Have you ever seen a god? Ever seen a god? Probably. Got it. I didn't know if you were like about to roll one out, you know what I mean? You're like, I'm definitely playing this guy. Azzy, I had my 8th level bard turned into a lich last Sunday. That's literal. I don't know how else to, I can't sugarcoat it, bro. That's what happened, bro. You are close, storm chasers, to many things. The only one can be claimed. The gods struggle gods themselves struggle across the astral plane, as most of you have seen, and many have helped, and many have contributed towards. The jackals, the drow, the hells, such violence, such death. Cool. I love that. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, I mean, I hated it, but it's sort of one of those things where I'm like, I mean, cool? It is objectively cool to be a lich. But let me assure you, it's painful when the DM's like, I now control your character. That shit don't feel right. Alright, guys, good work today. All of you. Tip of the cap. You did great. You did great. I feel good about this. I'm playing in this. It's normally on Tuesday. We're now doing it on Thursday. And I'll let you guys know how it goes. Drop it in the Discord, something like that. Appreciate y'all coming through, showing some love, some support. As always on these D&D streams, I like to raid somebody that is also ideally doing prep. Let's see. No, this is a game. You know what? They just started. Let's go check it. They're playing Greyhawk, which is dope. So this is Stella Luna. I don't know who they are. Looks like some cool peeps. It's a nice overlay and layout. This one dude is completely green. Cool. I guess we'll see. Honestly, I say that's a red flag in a DM when they constantly yank control away from your character. Listen, I agreed. Agreed. This was Barovia. I don't know. There was a moment before where I had polymorphed into a giant ape. And I more or less was like forced to touch one of these amber stones. But I saved that throw. But I had some pretty dire consequences. And partly because of that, and partly because of how the DM was coloring it, it seemed like my character was becoming evil. So I figured the easiest way, or the, I don't know, a truthful way that this character might respond would be to engage with each of these amber stones to try to expire their power and not have them land onto someone else. He knew that he could succeed on them and pass on the dark power. So he was like, cool, I'm going to do this. And I rolled a 6, and I needed a 15. I rolled a 14. Occasionally, this DM can get a little, like, I feel like, inconsistent with, like, how intense rulings go. But it is what it is. But it's weird because his character is the fighter that now this lich has dominated. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I've tried to be very clear where I'm like, dude, listen, I'm not trying to like be punitive here at all. Not at all. You know what I mean? Anyways. Yeah, and a DMPC. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Precisely. Okay, I love y'all. Friday, I'll be back 2 days from now. I'll be playing Elden Ring. I probably won't die even once because I'm so sick with it. Say what up to the crew over at Stella Luna. Tell them Carpe sent ya. And as always, take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Okay, I'm out. It is so hot. But I am going to go eat some ice chips and move forward with my day. All right? Are up on that. Exactly, balls. Exactly, dude. It really pissed me off. But there's been so much with this campaign. But he's playing it really hard. And that's how the campaign book is written. And I respect the hell out of that. I really do. Okay. I love y'all. We out. Say what up to Luna. We gone. Peace. Goodbye. 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 Okay, cool.